It's Tuesday, August 17th, 2021, and we are quickly approaching the 20-year anniversary of September 11th, 2001. And back when that first happened, I was asking myself, what's this country going to look like in 20 years? We got a government that lies to us, terrorizes us, blames it on boogeymen overseas, young people sent off to wars, rights and liberties being stolen. What's it going to look like here in 20 years? And while we're not quite to 20 years, we're days away, we're almost there. And, just to explain a day like today, I just got done mowing the lawn, and I don't know if it's coming through. Well, look at the window behind me. It's not an illusion. I mean, it's smoky out here. There's smoke everywhere. I feel like I feel like you gone camping, you had your campfire, all the burnt embers after the woods burn up. I feel like I just licked that up just from being outside mowing the lawn, right? Just burnt, smoky air. That's part of the problem. And then on top of that, what's going on in the world right now? Everyone's giving up their rights and liberties just like they did after 9/11 because they've been made to be afraid. Today, CNN's top headline on their story is that the people of Afghanistan are living in fear right now. It's like, okay, who isn't? Thanks to the same news media that has that as their headline today. Thanks to the governments of the world that perpetuate fear everywhere for the sake of their benefit. But yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be ugly in 20 years. I just knew it, man. It was so obvious. Everyone fell hook, line, and sinker for just such an obvious lie, 9/11. And, as time's gone on, 2005 when Katrina happened, I'll never forget it. That 2005 is when I woke up to weather warfare. Never before that would I have thought that, like, man could have an influence on the weather. But 2005, again, Katrina. They warned about it for like 2 weeks in advance, this storm that was coming. It probably wasn't quite 2 weeks, but more than a week. And, and they were saying how it was going to hit New Orleans, and then sure enough it did, and then the federal government said they weren't prepared for it. It's like, well, wait a minute, the news media had us all ready for this hurricane to devastate New Orleans almost 2 weeks in advance. How could the federal government act like they were clueless? They were just golfing or something the whole time and missed it all. But, yeah, there was a lot of research. YouTube was a new thing back then. The internet was about a decade into being what it was, and there was a lot of information out there about weather warfare. And I remember reading it online and trying to share it with people, and everyone acted like I was as crazy after 9/11. And I wasn't quite as sure about that as I was 9/11 being a total load of bullshit. I mean, that was a lot easier to see than weather warfare, which is a bigger thing to comprehend. But what's frustrating is to think that, when I was looking for that stuff in 2005 after Katrina, man, it had been out there for a long time. It's just, it wasn't well known. It wasn't talked about in the mainstream. It wasn't talked about in history books. And that's the thing. To find out the stuff that you really need to know in this world, you have to make a conscious effort to go out and look for it. The brain dead sheep in this nation, they think if they should know it, it would have been told to them by the authorities. And that's the whole problem. I mean, you see, that's why they march around and follow the orders and swallow the agendas, because that's exactly what they're trained to do, is just believe whatever the authority tells them, and let the authority do all their thinking for them. And that's exactly what I was worried about after 9/11, because I just saw that's how it was. Nobody cared about my opinion as an 18-year-old, even though I was right on point. Everyone just cared what the TV said, what the government said. That was all that mattered. And yeah, I mean, mind control is a real thing. It's a very real thing. They teach about it in American schools, mind control, like it's something that goes on over in communist nations. And maybe there's something true to that, because by what we were taught about communism, I mean, America looks like a communist nation now. And I see a lot of people that think they're truth seekers that seem to be totally down with the communism. They've taken the whole last year off. They're happy to get all the government checks and just claim all the unemployment, even though they could be working. So, again, there's a lot of people who think they're awake that aren't that awake. And, yeah, it seems like right now America's liking the early days of the new communism. Stay at home, have the government send you a little stipend, only shop at Fascist Mart, Walmart. So, I mean, this is very much like what we were told communism was when we were kids. You live in fear. You're lied to all the time. Nonstop propaganda. I mean, hello, COVID. You guys, COVID's so fucking real that they got to have a 24/7 news coverage on 8 different cable news networks every single day so that you know about the COVID. You know about all the latest asymptomatic carriers and people who tested positive, who look healthy as everything. Lock it down. So, but yeah, man, 20 years later, I knew it wasn't going to be pretty, but God, this ugly, man, just, summer after summer now, we just live in smoke. They got to ram through the climate change. It's not to say that we haven't fucked up the world, but I know that these fires are being manipulated. And what else is weird today is it's like cold out here. You almost need to wear a sweatshirt outside. I just mowing the lawn. I almost contemplate going on and putting in a long sleeve shirt, some sweatpants, because I'm out here in my white tee and like I am every day in my shorts. But I was like, damn, it's cold and smoky today. What the hell is going on, man? Fires everywhere, smoke, but the wind's all cold as hell. So, middle of August, it's not supposed to be cold in the middle of August, it's supposed to be the hottest part of the year. And that's what I've noticed the last, handful of years. It gets really hot in the earlier part of the year, and then it starts to cool off around this time. And it's like, it used to be the hottest part of the year. Now the hottest part of the year is coming in May and June. What's up with that? Yeah, man. Go back and see what they did on Valentine's Day. Don't forget we had that called out at the beginning of the year, why Valentine's Day should be circled for some weather warfare, some blackouts. And sure enough, it was. Houston, the energy capital, got the worst of it. That's the symbolism, the mockery. J.J. Watt wanted out of town. J.J. Watt didn't want to be in Houston anymore. Watt's energy. He wanted to go to Phoenix, the solar capital, where the Phoenix rises from the ashes. But yeah, anyway, Truth Seeker, I mean, humanity did not hear the call. That's what's going to be written on our tombstone. So, us Truth Seekers are just going to have to go out like troopers with the rest of the dumbasses. So at least somebody was here for what was right. But yeah, man, I mean, we're so far in